Welcome back. Let's jump into day 22. Wizard Simulator 20XX. Little Henry Case decides that defeating bosses with swords and stuff, that was yesterday, is boring. Now he's playing the game The Wizard. Of course he gets stuck on another boss and needs your help. In this version, combat still proceeds with the player and the boss taking alternating turns. The player still goes first. Now, however, you don't get any equipment. Instead, you must choose one of your spells to cast. The first character at or below 0 hit points loses. Since you're a wizard, you don't get to wear any armor and you can't attack normally. However, since you do magic damage, your opponent's armor is ignored. And so the boss effectively has 0 armor as well. As before, if armor from a spell, in this case, would reduce damage below 1, it becomes 1 instead. That is, the boss attacks always deals 1 damage at least. On each of your turns, you must select one of your spells to cast. If you can't afford to cast any spell, you lose. Spells cost mana. You start with 500 mana, but you have no maximum limit. You must have enough mana to cast a spell, and its cost is immediately deducted when you cast it. Your spells are magic: missile, drain, shield, poison, recharge. Missile does costs 53 mana and does 4 damage. Drain costs 73 mana, instantly does 2 damage and heals you for 2 hit points. Shield costs 130 mana. It starts an effect that lasts for 6 turns. While it is active, your armor is increased by 7. Poison, 173 mana. It starts an effect that lasts for 6 turns. At the start of each turn, while it is active, it deals the boss 3 damage. Recharge costs 229 mana. It starts an effect that lasts 5 turns. At the start of each turn, while it is active, it gives you 101 new mana. Effects all work in the same way. Effects apply at the start of both of the player's turns and the boss's turns. Effects are created with a timer, the number of turns they last. At the start of each turn, after they apply any effect they have, their timer is decreased by 1. If this decreases the timer to 0, the effect ends. You cannot cast a spell that would start an effect which is already active. However, effects can be started on the same turn they end. Okay. Okay, so they can end, the counter goes to 0 and I can cast it again. For example, suppose the player has 10 hit points, 250 mana, boss has 13 hit points and 8 damage. Okay, blah blah. Player casts poison. Oops. Boss turn. Boss has hit points. Poison deals 3 damage. Its timer is now 5. Because it starts at 6. Okay. Boss attacks for 8 damage. Now my hit points are at 2. Okay, now suppose the same initial conditions except that the boss has 14 hit points instead. Then we have a recharge as well. And then when it's boss turn, recharge starts to provide me mana. Okay. We start with 50 hit points and 500 mana points. The boss actual stats are in the puzzle input. Okay. Or maybe we should try the examples. Okay, maybe we can reuse some of this. Probably not this. Probably character. Well, everything's kind of like flexible now, so I don't know if we will need it. Let's just get rid of it all. We don't have equipment. Okay, we don't reuse anything. So, actually those combos was kind of cool. Let's leave it. So, spells. Okay, we can make a spell, has cost and damage and heal. Spell, cost int, damage int, heal int, and then length or something. We have name, string, magic missile, cost 53, 4 damage, heals nothing, doesn't last. Spell, drain, 73, 2 damage, heals 2, no length. Spell, shield, 113. Starts an effect that lasts for 6 turns. So this one has armor, which is 0 for the first 2. And then has 7 armor. No damage, no heal, just armor. And it lasts for 6 turns. Spell, poison, 173, damage, 0 damage, 0 heal, 0 armor, length 6. It doesn't do instant damage, we have like instant damage. Instant damage. I mean, we don't really say damage anyway. And then we have turn damage or whatever. Wow, now it's getting really complicated. Turn damage. Three. Recharge. 2 to 9. 5 turns. 0 instant damage. 0 turn damage. At start of each turn gives you 100 mana. Heals me 0. Gives me no armor. Lasts for 5 turns. And can like heal mana. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. 0, 0, 0. This one heals 101 mana. So now that we have all the spells, we can set up the game. Whoops. So I think because we always apply effects, no matter whose turn it is, we have to each run through this while loop is a turn, and then I just say it's either my turn or not, and it's the boss turn. I have my hit points, my mana, boss hit points, boss damage, and to do the example, I have poison and magic missile. Then I will trigger all effects. If it's my turn, then take the spell, apply the spell. If boss turn, apply the damage. And if one of us has 0 or less hit points, then they win. Okay, so I have to also have active effects, mutable list of map of effect and it. Then I need to make it the effect, which is like turn damage, heal, okay, do this is instant, okay, so these have effects, armor increased, turn damage, and the one that heals mana. Okay. Then I can just say if one of those effects is active, I apply it. So, I mean, I can just also initialize this map. Mutable map of effect. And make all the effects. And I can actually put the effect here, no? Oh, let's go. Effects. List of effect. So we have maybe we can add a name as well. We can just set everything to 0. We have shield with armor set. Poison with recharge. Mana, what is it? 101. And then we kind of want to pull armor, turn version heal mana. Whoa. Turn damage. Heal mana and armor. Oops. Kind of, we can just add an effect here, right? We can say, hey, well, effect. We can say effect is, well, don't even have to do that. Oh, you can put length in it. Cool, let's do it. Effect has a length. So we have effect, and it can be null, obviously. So we just, we don't even need it here. Shield. Then we just take a shield from here, put it here. Shield is here. Whoa. What happened? Shield is here. Length 6. And we have poison. Oh, do we need to name it actually? Can I just use a name? No. Five. Yeah, I don't know why the effect needs a name. Does it? Right, let's just leave it for now. Then we go spells, map, filter, dot effect, map, dot effect. Two, 0. Map. Yeah, we just want a mutable map. So each effect has 0 turns left. And I can say effect.for each effect the value greater than 0, we apply it. just say hit points plus I don't heal really our hit points, but we heal our mana. And then we can say, wait, what else is there? Key dot armor. Armor 0 plus effect armor. And then we have turn damage. Don't know what my damage is by default. Yeah, like extra damage, right? Extra turn damage, just turn damage. Okay. Apply these effects and set -1, -1. We just decrease the timer on it. Cool, now I apply my spell, which is now just example dot whatever. So index example index. So if it's my turn, then I can apply my spell, which is example index. +1. Apply boss damage. Apply my next spell. So how do I apply my spell? Spell is my example spell. And then boss hit points. Spell dot instant damage plus turn damage. I wonder if the turn damage is at the same time as the damage, or if it just deals damage. So I can say, instead of turn damage, I can just say boss hit points minus turn damage. Okay, so I don't need to consider it here. I just have instant damage, and I think the boss has some kind of armor, right? Boss. No, the boss doesn't have armor. It said something about that. Opponent armor is ignored. So just do damage, instant damage from my spell. But the boss doesn't have any armor, or what? He just does 9 damage. Okay. In the example, he does 8 damage, so if he hits me, it's boss damage, but if I have armor, I can subtract the armor. smaller than 0, he still does 1 damage. And if well, I just sometimes don't do damage, I guess. And then after this I just say my turn. It's not my turn. And then, yeah, boss damage doesn't change. Effects don't change. Active effects. The entries change, so it has to be mutable map, but other than that, it doesn't change. Okay, so maybe I can do it and check if it works. Hit points. Boss. See what happens here now. Okay, so I cast poison. I can actually print that. Casting spell top name. Actually, does it look cool? Let's see. Casting spell. Which, yeah, then nothing happens. Okay, 10 and 13. And then we have 3 damage. Boss attacks for 8. After which we have 2 and 10. 2 and 13. Should be 10 here. So casting spell. Ah yeah, so active effects. Spell. Equals spell dot effect dot if spell dot effect not now length. What is this here? Effect. Ah yeah, spell dot effect. Does that work? So I activate my effect with the length and so on. Okay, so now I have 210. Then I cast a missile. Does 4 damage. I do obviously 3 damage again with it's poison. Then the boss hits me for 8, so I lose. Oh, I win. Boss turn. Poison. Aha, boss has 3. Ah yeah, so boss. Ah, this is an interesting case. So the poison here kills the boss. If boss are greater than 0, we should continue. Yeah, then we stop, and I win. You do the same thing then. If boss hit points 0. Player wins. Else boss wins. Let's see, second example. Suppose same, but boss has 14 hit points. Oh wait, maybe we do different spells. Recharge, shield, drain, poison, missile. Okay, so we do recharge. Shield, poison. Was it recharge, shield, drain? Recharge, shield, drain, poison, magic missile. Do I win? Player wins. I probably misspelled something. Boss wins. Cool, let's check it. Boss hit points 14. Yeah, so I just do recharge. Oh. Be curious about my mana as well, because I have to check if it goes too low. So the boss hits me once, I already have only 2 hit points left, and I do shield. And the boss hits me again, I have 1. That's weird. Recharge. You have 2 here, right? Then I do shield, so that then the boss does 1 damage. I have 1 hit point. And I do drain. Ah, it has healing. I didn't apply the heal. Okay. Healing instant. Hit points. Spell.heal. Instant damage, heal. Yeah, I just forgot to heal. Let's heal. And I win because I have then 1 hit point, I heal. The boss continues to do drain. Ah, no, I do drain once, right? Get 3. Then I go to poison. Then that decreases. First nothing happens. Then decreases boss hit points to 9. Then I do a missile. Then that decreases it to 2, and then before the boss can hit me, the poison kicks in and decreases the boss again. Okay, now I have 50 hit points. Now it gets tricky. I have 50 hit points, 500 mana points. The boss has 58 hit points. The boss damage is 9. And then we have to figure out all the options of games we can play, and which one is the lowest, what is it? Least amount of mana you can spend. Do not include mana recharge effect as spending negative mana. First of all, I have to count the mana I'm spending. Mana used. So this is not negative mana, but spell mana. Then I also have to check if my mana is like I can just check here, right? No, only as soon as I use mana. Okay, ran out of mana equals false. And not ran out of mana. Then I just say if I want to use a spell. Yeah, well, I'm using it here. If smaller than 0, okay. So I just add, just say I have all the combinations for each combination. We do this. And then we just say if I didn't run out of mana and was this thing, then I just add results.add mana used. And then we just say min games have to get all the combinations. And I could just do it randomly as well. Supply random spells and hope for the best. Why not? Let's try. So I just get how do I get the combination? Say 20 times. I get spells.random like this. And then we have 20 spells, and then we just play the game. And hope for the best. Let's see what happens. Okay, sometimes the game is longer. Let's get more. I wonder if I want to finish all these games or not. Okay, I have to also... Sort of combination, I can also get a random spell that's not active, right? Which means effect is null, or active effects of the effect equals 0. And I just say options.random. Let's see what happens. Okay, that was quite fast. Still quite fast and different result. Okay, let's try this one. Nice. Okay, so what do? We repeat for 100,000 times the game, which is we pick a spell, and we can only pick a spell that has no effect, because we can every round we can just play those effects and play those spells. We like magic, we can just play magic missile every time, for example. But we can't play poison every time because we can only play it if it's not active. So that's why we filter on effects that are not active, and then we can pick it randomly and cast it and then play the game. A smarter way to do it would be to look at all the options of combinations of games, of spells that we could use. So we have 5 different ones. We can look at all the combinations of spells that we can use in a game that has n rounds or something. But I'm going to do the same check. We can only continue using the next spell if it matches this condition. But yeah, we don't have to calculate the combinations if we just pick at random. And it works. On the next turn, through the game, you increase the difficulty to hard. At the start of each player turn, before any other effects apply, you lose 1 hit point. If this brings you 2 or below 0 hit points, you lose. With the same starting stats for you and the boss, what is the least amount of mana you can spend and still win the fight? Okay, so before effects applies, we have this here, start of each player turn. Before effects, okay, if my turn, hit points minus equals 1. And then have to watch out that I lose. I mean, we can just check if hit points. We can just say run out of mana. It's the same kind of thing. We can even rename it or hit points. Then let's see what the experiment gives now. 1309. Let's try this. And that's it. So yeah, we just had to add the extra condition. Start of my turn, hit point minus 1. Run out of mana. Then we would finish applying a spell or whatever, but then we would say, hey, okay, boss wins. It's not part of the solutions that are valid. Awesome. That's it. Thanks everyone. See you next time.